can easily connect your Magento account with GetResponse to be able to automatically add customers of your Magento shop into your GetResponse account and able to also send e-commerce data about their purchases and use it to be able to respond automatically with workflows, try to win back abandoned carts, recommend products automatically, segment based on e-commerce data. That can all happen by integrating your Magento account with your GetResponse account through our plugin. And so for now, I'm going to show you how to do it through GitHub. And so you can see on this FAQ, can I grow my contact database by integrating GetResponse with Magento? You can see here that it's going to be a link to our GitHub link. And so this is going to be, in this video, the directions for Magento 1.9, and we'll work on another video for Magento 2.0. But for now, we'll show you how to do it this way. And for now, you're going to be able to download it from GitHub right here. And so for 1.9, you follow the instructions exactly as it says here. And I won't be able to show you the steps 3 and 4 in this video because I already have the extension inside of my Magento account, but I can show you what it will look like. And so what you need to do is when you click this link, you'll go to the GitHub. And then remember, this is for 1.9. So we'll just scroll down a bit, and this is what it looks like. This is the 1.9. This is where it starts the 2.0 versions. But like I mentioned, this will be only for 1.9. Version of Magento. And you need to download this file that ends in the TGZ. I know it looks all, lots of different things here, but just click this one and it will start to download. You can see we've got it. And we don't want to unpack it. We don't want to put it, unzip it basically, because we can see it's right here. So I can just move it to my desktop and then I'll use it when I need it, because you can see we did step 1. Now step 2, we go into our Magento admin panel and pretend like you don't see GetResponse here. What you would do is, yours won't have it there just yet. You would go to System, Magento Connect Manager. Oh, okay, I need to log in. Okay. And so then all we need to do is go here to this section where it's called Direct Package File Upload. And we need to just upload the file that we just downloaded. So we go to Choose File, go to the desktop, and then we can see it is here. We click Open, and then we would click Upload. But I've already done this, and so it's going to give me an error message if I do it. So I won't show you that. But all you would do is click Upload, and then you should be able to see this automatic process start to run, and then it will be, basically good to go. It'll give you information that's been added. And then we'd go back to our admin panel after that, refresh our page, and then we should see a GetResponse plugin right here. And so that's all the steps you need to do to actually add the plugin into your admin panel. It's just going to do it from the upload from GitHub, and then you would see this here. And then what you need to do is hover over this GetResponse menu, click GetResponse account, and you'll need to connect your API key that is available in your GetResponse account right here in your Magento admin panel. So what we need to do is have our GetResponse account opened up that we want to integrate with, and go to the My Account menu, Integrations and API. Click on API. You'll copy the API key that's there, put it here, and then if you have an enterprise level package, you would just need to check this box and give some additional information here about your account type and domain. But in this example, we're going to use a retail account, and we'll click Connect. And then we can see we're connected, and it gives you all of the information that's already downloaded, about your account details. And then what's handy is you can just kind of basically go through each section here on the GetResponse menu for the different areas that you want to be able to integrate with GetResponse. What I would, for example, do next is after I've done GetResponse account, I'd go all the way down to GetResponse Ecommerce and create what's kind of called like a shop in GetResponse. Because in your GetResponse account, you can have many different shops, maybe for if you have a few different online stores that you're selling with, or something like this. But it's kind of called like a GetResponse shop and within your GetResponse account. And how it works is we want to send e-commerce data to GetResponse. So I want things that are going on in my Magento shop purchases, that purchase history, to be going into my GetResponse account. Or it's GetResponse store, actually. I've been saying shop, but you need to create what's called a store in GetResponse. And so it pulled from my account that I've integrated these other stores or shops that I've already created and that I'm sending data to through, other services. But I can create, let's say, a new one for this particular purpose. So let's say this is, Abby New Magento. Just pretend, but, it could be the name of your actual service. So we can confirm it. And we can reload. Okay, maybe I didn't save it right. Confirm. And here we go. I reloaded it too quickly before that. And so we'll click Save. And so now in this Magento account that I've just, enabled, I created this new store. And this is where it's going to be sending e-commerce data in GetResponse. That'll make a little bit more sense in just a moment. And now what I can do is go back to my GetResponse tab. And let's say you've got your Magento account running for some time. You have, already some purchases, some customers, and you want these past customers to go ahead and be able to be present in your GetResponse account now as well and their data. And then, of course, because we're doing this integration, from this point forward, all future customers can be added in their e-commerce data because what we've just done. But this can be for past contacts. And so we can choose for the customer data you already have in your Magento account, which list in your GetResponse account you want them to be added to. Or if none of the existing lists in your GetResponse account actually would work for this purpose of your existing Magento customers, you can create a new contact list right here as well, which is pretty handy. But I have one that I'm going to be using already set up in my account. But again, if you didn't have a list in GetResponse that you want to send your Magento customers, you can add this new contact list here. So I'm choosing where I want these existing customers that are in my, Magento shop to be sent to and GetResponse. If I want to include e-commerce data in this export, I would say yes, I do. So let's say this new shop I just created, this is where this what's called a store in GetResponse would be. And then you can see there's a couple additional informations you have about updating existing contacts or time-based scheduler. I don't need that in this case. So I can just click export. And then it's going to be working for a moment, and then you'll see in just a second that it's going to have exported the data. And it just loads for a moment, and then this will make a little bit more sense in just a minute to see exactly how it works. So customer data is exported. So I'm going to take us out of Magento Admin Panel for just a moment and get back into GetResponse. So I'm going to go to Contacts and go to Search. And you can see we've got, this is that list I was talking about earlier. But what's interesting within GetResponse is whenever you search, you'll see e-commerce here. And once you've actually connected an e-commerce shop like Magento to your GetResponse account, this is when these search conditions will become available. And you'll see that we can search through the different shops that we have if we've got purchases within them or not. I don't have any purchases yet for my new Magento example, but you can see I've got these other shops here that I've already integrated with. And so this is where you're going to start seeing the existence of the shops you're creating and e-commerce functionalities in your account. But we can go through back to our admin panel, and we've already connected our account. We've said that we want to send e-commerce data. We've exported some existing customer data that we may have had for this new shop. And then you can go to Add Contacts during registration. So you can see you can get new contacts to your GetResponse account whenever someone registers for your store. So I want this to happen whenever they're registering, in the checkout process to be added. So I want them to be added to, let's say, this list. Autoresponders I won't be needing. I want to add this sign up to receive a newsletter checkbox to my checkout page. And sure, I can update their information if they happen to add more details whenever they purchase. So I can click Save. And so now, for example, this is my shop, just a kind of default example here. If I'm purchasing, even if I check out as a guest, I'm going to just call this, Abby testing. Use my test email address. Let's say just as an example, fill this out really quickly. These are not accurate data, so don't call me on that. And you can see it's got this option to sign up for the newsletter. We can continue just to complete this purchase, this sample purchase, so we can actually see how this can work. So that's actually happened. So I'm going to give it just a minute before I go back and get response to make sure it loads properly. Give it the system some time, because we can go through now the rest of these options here. And then we saw, add contacts during registration. You can add GetResponse forms that you've created in your GetResponse account to your shop if you would like. And so again, all you need to do is check this box, and it will see some different forms you already have created. And so if you don't have a form created yet, all you would need to do is go to your GetResponse account and create a form, save it and publish it. And then, after a couple of minutes, you'll be able to see it in this drop down. So we could say that I want this pop-up to come up, within the content of my pages from the top, and, new form for Magento. And now we'll be able to have a form published on our within our shop as well. And I can show you that in just a moment. But let's keep going down. So we did add contacts via GetResponse forms. You can also see some contact list rules. So you can just see basically rules that help you move or copy contacts automatically between GetResponse lists when people make purchases in a selected product category. So you can see it's easy to add this rule. And I don't have a different categories set up in my sample shop here, but I imagine you could within your Magento shop. And so it would basically be if they buy in category shoes, they can be moved or copied to my, let's say we have a dedicated list for my shoes, let's say. So this is something you could do to move them or copy them within different lists. So that's how that, functionality works within the rules. You can also see add to contact list after a customer subscribes. So whenever someone signs up to your newsletter, basically, you can actually choose where they should actually be going. Because this is kind of different than registration. So if someone actually subscribes to a newsletter, maybe you don't want them to go to the same list within the registrations. So for example, when they register as a customer, you want them to be added to your, let's say, customers list or some general shop list. But if they subscribe to your newsletter, maybe you have a different list going that's like specific to a mailing list. And so here you could specify exactly which list they should be added to when they subscribe to your newsletter itself. Next is a very handy tool to have enabled, and then we'll have gone through all of the elements in the Magento admin panel. I can show you a little bit more in the GetResponse panel, is web event tracking. So you just simply enable it here, and so it's got some helpful instructions here, basically, or explanation is to plan a customer journey based on their visits to your store and purchases they make, so pages that they visit on your page. And it's actually going to be a GetResponse marketing automation feature that's available in pro level accounts and max level accounts. So you need to have access to either one of those types of accounts to have access to the marketing automation elements you would need to make use of this. But if you want to be able to see, which pages they're visiting on your store site and be able to, send some targeted offers to them or, tag them in some way, you need to have this enabled and click Save. And so we can see it is enabled here. So we've gone through all of these options here. And just really quickly, back in the GetResponse account, if for some reason you need to disconnect your GetResponse account or connect a different account for some reason, you would do that right here within the GetResponse account area. Okay, so what we can do back in GetResponse is be able to check within our Magento shop. We can see we had that test purchase that I made. That this was the one I did here. So this has been added to this list as I wanted it to be added to. And another place that you'll be able to start, really using e-commerce data a lot, of course, you can do it within your search conditions for e-commerce, number of purchases, total spent, product purchase or brand purchase within a particular shop or all shops to be able to find those specific contacts. And you'll also be using it a lot within marketing automation. And whenever you're creating some workflows, you'll be able to see that you'll be able to, for example, in post-purchase, an abandoned cart would be very handy as well. So post-purchase, and you can see in these, these are templates that are pre-built scenarios for you. And so, for example, in post-purchase follow-up, you'll see that by configuring the purchase element, in the properties, you'll choose API for the integration method, and then you'll see all of your stores that you've added. And so we can actually see this new Magento shop that I just created. It can be, any category, any product. You can make it specific if you want as well. If you want to target this workflow based on everyone who purchases the, Patient Ninja product as well, some particular variant. So you can see you can be very general, any category, any product, or make it really specific, and you can complete the rest of the workflow. I know our video is already going through quite a few steps, so I won't go through a full workflow, but this is kind of the most important and a quick example of where your purchase data would come in handy. And so we can leave this one here. And of course, abandoned carts would be, very helpful for you to be able to see if someone puts their a product in their online shopping cart and then they don't actually complete the purchase within your Magento shop. Because you've got your account integrated, again, you'll be able to choose API, new Magento, and if someone abandons their cart for 2 hours, I want to send them a message that says, hey, you forgot this product here. So this is a way that you'd be able to win back abandoned carts through your Magento integration as well. But I'm just saving and exiting these. And there's just a couple more things I can quickly show you where e-commerce will touch your account in just another way is in the email marketing section. You'll be able to actually set up the specific abandoned cart or product recommendation messages that maybe you'd want to use in your workflows. So I'm just going to call this e-commerce example. I'm not going to give it too handy of a subject line for the sake of time, because I just basically want to show you these two areas within your the message editor that may be helpful for you. So let's just pretend this is a message we can use, and what I want to draw your attention to inside the message editor is going to be what's called e-commerce. And you can see that there are these recommendation blocks here. And so you can automatically recommend products to customers based on popular products that have been purchased. And so if you have an e-commerce shop enabled, you'll be able to see this option to drag it over. And then you can select the store. Let's say it's this store. I want to show 2 products. And then again, if you had some categories, you could specify if the recommended products should come from some category. And so now what we could do is, send this out at some point, and it would automatically pre-fill it when I send it based on my e-commerce, my Magento shop data that I've connected, recommend popular products. So if this particular customer that receives this message, bought X, and customers like him who bought X also bought Y and Z, we would automatically show products Y and Z. So I know that's explained pretty quickly, but it's just, we've got more helpful resources on that. But I wanted to draw your attention to where you can find product recommendations within your account. And one more I forgot about, and then we can let you loose and ready to integrate your account. Within automation messages, if you go back to the automation space in your account, go to Automation Messages and choose Create Draft. This is going to be my abandoned cart, because I showed you how to set up the abandoned cart workflow briefly, but this is the type of message you could be able to put inside of that workflow. And so again, let's just pretend this is a good one. I'm just choosing a random template. And whenever you're creating what's called an automation message within this e-commerce button here, and I could have probably showed you it in this way previously about recommendations, but it slipped my mind to do it like that. what we'll do now is we can move over this abandoned cart, and you'll see that you can actually then be able to include the actual products that were forgotten in your Magento shop. And so this is how it will look. You can choose. By default, it just basically shows 2 products, but if someone forgot 1 product or 12 products in their shopping cart based on the time that you set up in your workflow, it would include all of those. And because you actually have the web event tracking and the Ecommerce enabled within the Magento admin settings, you'll be able to actually, automatically notify people they've forgotten their products and then show them in this email exactly what it is that they've forgotten with a photo, the name, and the price of the product. And so there was the very quick way to show you all around. Quick as far as, every little aspect, but this is, I know, quite a few areas within your account where you can format things based on your e-commerce data that we're sending from your Magento account. But the most important thing is that you understand how to download the plugin from GitHub, how to be able to upload it within your Magento account by going to System, Magento Connect, Connect Manager, upload the file that you downloaded, and then basically go through all of the menu tabs here about what it is that you want to do, paying close attention to GetResponse e-commerce and creating your new store and making sure that you're sending e-commerce data to GetResponse, and then playing around in your account, searching for contacts based on their e-commerce data, and being able to then set up workflows based on that and messages that you can then use to target your contacts with exact products you'd like to recommend or win back those abandoned carts.